Hands-on demonstration on summary statistics. Other summary statistics.
Now move to the last na ating worksheet. Ayan, which is named Other Summary Measures. So for this kind of worksheet, 4 na beses po tayo magko-compute dito or 4 yung i-compute natin. So we have first for the proportions and percentages, the ratio, the rate, and the percent change. Ayan. So first, let us compute for the proportions. Ang proportions natin na formula ay given here, which is the number of observations belonging in the category over the total number of observations in the collections. Okay, so we have here the number of participants for each major islands of the Philippines. So we have Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and its corresponding number of participants. So ang sabi dito, ang numerator ng proportions ay observations belonging in the category, which is per major island. So ito yung mga categories natin. And then, ang denominator naman niya ay total number of observations in the collection. Okay? So, kinompute na. So, paano lang kinompute yung total number of observations? So, equal sign sum noong number of participants. Okay? So, ito na ang total number of participants for this data. Okay? So, let us assume na training ito. So, ito na yung total number of participants and training for the Philippines. So, let us compute for the proportions. Ang sabi, it is just the number of observations divided by the total number of observations. So, ito na yung ating proportion. Pero, meron lang tayong gagawin, iti-tweak doon sa denominator natin since same yung magiging formula ng proportions natin, the number of observations belonging the category over the total number of observations in the collection, ang magbabago lang po dyan is yung numerator. Since yung total number of observations ay equal na sa 3,922, gusto natin pag kinapin natin yung formula, hindi magbabago yung denominator or that cell. Okay? So, paano natin gagawin yun? We will use a command of absolute referencing. Yan. So, ang gagawin lang natin, i-highlight lang natin yung cell na ayaw natin magbago yung formula. Once na na-highlight na siya, click lang natin Fn F4 or function F4. For other devices, simply F4 na click lang po sa keyboard. Ayan. And then, click enter. Ayan yung proportions. So, next, ang gagawin natin since ang nagbabago lang yung numerator natin pero yung denominator hindi and naka-absolute referencing na siya. So, ang nangyari dito, yan, nagkaroon ng dollar sign. Ibig sabihin, hindi magbago yung column and also the row. So, which means kung hindi magbago yung row and column, their intersection is the cell, hindi magbabago yung cell. So, actually, pwede kang mamili kung anong absolute referencing yung gusto mo. Okay? So, either buong cell yung hindi nagbabago or pwedeng yung row lang yung hindi nagbabago or pwede rin yung column ang hindi nagbabago. But for this kind of formula, ang gusto natin yung buong cell yung hindi nagbabago. Okay? So, kakopy lang natin yung ating formula. Ayan. For Visayas and Mindanao. And pag dinouble check po natin yung ating formula, papansin nyo na nagbabago yung numerator but the denominator ay hindi. Yun yung kagandahan ni absolute referencing. Okay? So now, meron na tayong computed value ng proportions. Tingnan nga natin kung equal to 1 siya. So, dapat equal to 1 to. Ayan, equal to 1 siya. Okay? So, kukunin naman natin this time yung percentages. So, bakit natin kukunin si percentages? So, dahil sa sobrang baba ng ating proportions, okay, mahirap masyado siyang i-interpret. Okay? So, kunin muna natin yung percentages. So, times 100 lang. Ayan. So, and we now have the percentages for each of the major islands in the Philippines. Palabasin ko na kagad yung interpretation niya. Ayan. So there were around 35% of participants coming from Luzon of the total of 3,922. Okay? So again, ginamit natin to interpret yung ating data ay percentages dahil masyadong mahirap nang i-visualize yung 0.3454 and so on para sa ating mga readers and sa ating mga audiences. Okay? So for example, banggitin nyo, there were around 0.3454 na participants coming from Luzon out of the 3,922. So wag na natin sila pahirapan. Instead, gawin na natin percentages na sabihin natin 35% coming from Luzon, 38% coming from Visayas, and 27% coming from Mindanao. So wala na interpretation ni Visayas and Mindanao since ang babaguhin lang naman dito is the percent and the category, which is the major islands in the Philippines. Okay, let us now proceed sa ating ratios. So we have here hospitals A, B, and C, the corresponding number of patients, and the number of healthcare workers. So ang question here, what is the ratio of COVID-19 patients to the healthcare workers? So computin natin ratio noong ating healthcare workers sa kanyang mga nalagaan na COVID-19 patients. So simply, para makompute yung ratio, divide lang natin, divided by, so the number of COVID-19 patients divided by the healthcare workers. Same lang yung formula na gagamitin, and yan. So ito na yung ratio, ganun lang kabilis si rate. So palabasin na kagad natin yung interpretation. Ayan, may isa-isa siyang interpretation. So again, paano natin kinompute yung ratio? So it is simply the number of COVID-19 patients divided by the number of healthcare workers. So again, yung question, what is the ratio of COVID-19 patients to the healthcare workers? So the ratio of number of COVID-19 patients to the number of healthcare workers in Hospital A is 13:1. So kada isang HCW, merong 13 patients siyang binabantayan. For Hospital B, so 18:1, and for Hospital C, it is 28:1. So as you can see, kung titingnan mo sa ganitong klaseng data, wala pa yung ratio, isipin natin na maybe ang Hospital B ang may pinakamaraming binabantayan per care workers. But if we use primary measure na ratio, ay kita natin na si Hospital C ang may pinakamaraming binabantay yan kada isang healthcare worker. Okay, so from this, you could create na po magagandang way para paano mabawasan yung binabantayan na COVID-19 patients ni healthcare worker for Hospital C. Okay, so let's now proceed sa third na summary measure, which is the rate. Yan. So we now have here the number of live births and the maternal deaths for the years 2015 to 2017. So, ang kukumputin natin dito ay maternal mortality ratio or MMR. Okay? So, compute po muna natin siya. Okay, we interpret. So, given naman na po yung formula here, the number of maternal deaths in a given period divided by the total live births in a given period multiplied by 100,000. Yan, malaki yung base natin. Okay, so equal sign. So number of maternal deaths divided by the number of total live births multiplied 100,000. So mababa ko ng 0. So mukhang sakto lang. Then since same lang yung formula, pwede natin siyang i-drag. And interpret na lang kagad natin. So there were approximately 99 maternal deaths for every 1,000 live births in 2015 rather. Okay? So ito yung computed maternal mortality rate natin, which is 99. So 99 maternal deaths. Then ang ginamit natin na base kanina is sa pag-compute ay times 100,000 So, for every 100,000 live births. So, bakit tayo gumagamit ng malalaking base for this kind of data? Dahil sa sobrang liit ang computed value natin, papakita ko kung hindi siya naka-times ng 100,000. Sa sobrang liit ng computed value natin, masyado na siyang malayo. Ang hirap na ma-visualize. Okay? So, this time, para mas madali, gumagamit tayo ng higher na base. Okay? And since ito ay tao, so naka-round up na po ulit siya into a whole number. Okay, then 86 naman po maternal deaths for every 100,000 in 2016 and so on. Okay, so ganun lang kabilis mag-compute ng rates. Okay, so again, gumagamit tayo ng malalaking bases para mas madali nating ma-interpret yung ating data. Ma-interpret and ma-visualize. So, very common naman na 100,000 yung ginagamit MMR. Yan. So, pwede din na magbago po yung base natin. But again, yung advisable is at least 100,000. So, dapat mas mataas siya. Ayan. So, nandito na tayo sa last part, which is the percent change. Ayan. So, we have here the real GDP per capita for years 2015 to 2016. Okay? So, computin lang natin. It is the new value minus the old value all over the old value multiplied by 100. So, compute lang natin, equal sign. Dalawahin ko lang yung parenthesis ko dahil ang gusto kong unang computein ay yung numerator, which is the new value minus the old value. Yan. Then, close parenthesis, yung magiging difference niyan, i-divide ko naman sa old value, which is the 2015, close parenthesis ulit dahil yung magiging quotient niyan ay multiply ko by 100. So we now have a percent change of 5.1. So palabasin na natin yung interpretation for this percent change. Since 5.1 yung naging percent change natin, it is now increased. So there was a 5.1% increase in the real GDP per capita from 2015 to 2016. Okay? So again, based sa lecture natin, pag negative yung percent change, ang sasabihin natin, decrease. Since this is positive, so 5.1% increase in the real GDP per capita from 2015 to 2016. Okay? So with this, thank you very much sa pagsama sa akin.